After many delays, it is finally here. Dune Part 2 is out in cinemas. You can go and see it now. And I got a chance to see it the other day. And as someone who really, really loved the first film, I thought I couldn't really complain much about that film at all. I was very excited for this film, and the Rotten Tomatoes score last time I checked was like 94% critically and like 95 audiences, something like that. So I went into this film very, very excited, and I was not disappointed. I think this film is a masterpiece. It's one of the best films I've seen in the past decade. I will say as much as that. And, you know, this last decade, we've had literally Infinity War and Endgame. We've had films that size. We've had the Batman. We've had so many huge films. And I love this film so much. I walked out of this film so happy. But let's not go there anymore. Let's get started with the review of this film. And just to put it into simple words, this film is a masterpiece. Pretty much on every level, everything which is put into this film is just done right. The world building, the characters, the CGI, the messaging, it's all done in a way which feels right. To start off with the world building, I was just in utter awe in how immersive this world was. The world that it took you in, the zone you were put in, is breathtaking. It's not just CGI you're staring at, it's the uses of the certain accessories. For example, something which amazed me about this film is kind of just the small details. One of them being the way they extract the water from someone is, you know, they live in the sand dunes. You have a lack of water in the sand dunes. That's normal human stuff. And then when the way they extract that, the way they use that, there's like creatures that live in the sand dunes which retrieve that water. And it's just those little details which, kind of speaking about it, sounds dumb, sounds stupid, but when you actually see the film, I feel you're immersed more into it because it gives you that time. It's a film which is constantly stopping to look at this area which we're stood in. What are we immersed in? And that's what this film does best, is immerses you into this world and does it right. As per the characters, you know, Timothée Chalamet's character, Zendaya's, phenomenal. Just written in the right way, continued off in just a way which feels satisfying to how they were started off, and then kind of brought back into this one. Like I say, one of the standout to this film is actually the new character of Austin Butler's character. I thought, you know, seeing him as Elvis back like 2 years ago, how like cheerful and how upbeat he is as Elvis, then to see this dark and gritty character who is terrifying. They are not someone you want to be around. This character is horrifying, and the way that he's presented as threatening but also such a good character. That's all I can really say without kind of going in depth. Obviously, Timothée Chalamet's character, again, so good. I mean, seeing him as Willy Wonka, how cheerful he is in this musical form. And then being the character of Paul, who is both selfish and cares about others at the same time. He has that division of character which feels really satisfying to sit through. Of course, we've got Zendaya's character in here, who is just so well written in a way which you really care about her, but want her character arc to end the way that Paul's does as well. Feels really good. And then, of course, you've got, like, surprise cameos, like Anya Taylor-Joy makes a sneaky cameo in this. That's really, really good. We've got Florence Pugh in there. We've got Dave Bautista. We've got just all sorts of great voice actors and just actors in general in here. It hits all of the right notes. And kind of something which I've kind of had asked to me a few times when seeing this film. There's no credit scene. No, there is no credit scene. But I kind of felt like the way they end this film is it's done in a really good way, because it's ended in a way which is left open for what could come next, but also is able to conclude what the first film left off. And I'm always there for a slight cliffhanger, but it still means that that ending has been done, and this film started and finished in a right and satisfying way. And I really, really did appreciate that an awful lot. And kind of just like the small details as well. The costume design is so cool. The action is amazing. There's this one fight scene which happens in the third act of this film. I don't want to say anything. I made you a spoiler review just for the sake of this. And it is so good. It is choreographed in the most phenomenal way. It is so fast. The way that these... I don't even want to say who does it. The way that these two characters fight, and as fast as they do it, is breathtaking and mind-blowing at the same time, because the amount of stunt work that they must have had to have put into that is amazing. You know, you think you've seen the fastest fight scenes in a film. Think again, because this fight scene makes it look like it's in slow-mo, and I'm not even exaggerating there. I knew this fight was coming, and I was so excited for what was coming, and it did not disappoint. It has that suspense, it has that terror, but it also has that great action that you want from this. And I couldn't be happier with how this ended up, because I was just so happy with how they did that. It also is a film which provides a lot of emotional weight. The way that this film ends is done in a satisfying way, but also something which sticks in your mind. I went to see this with someone else, and I've spoken to other people about it, and that ending, the way that it ends is just so emotionally devastating, and that emotional weight is carried out this entire film. You can feel, just from how this film starts, it's more intense than the first one. The stakes are higher, and that's what this does well. The film is just so able to take characters, character development, put it together, meet in the middle, and just get it right. The characters in this film are so much better. The action in this film is better. The CGI is better. The world building is better. The action is better. And I think it's safe to say that pretty much everything in Dune Part 2 is better. So I don't really have any overall negatives to say about it. This is probably when I would. Another thing to kind of point out, which people do ask me about, you know, the runtime, it almost hits the 3-hour mark. It doesn't feel like that long. I guess it only comes down to how invested you are in this story. I was very invested and really, really enjoyed it. Therefore, I did not ever get bored or felt like it was dragging. And kind of, you know, another thing, is there going to be a third one? There's already been things with, like, the director, greenlit one. I think it's safe to say that there will be another one in the next few years. I think by 2027 we're going to have a Dune trilogy. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. And I'm really looking forward to returning to this world. Like, it's just so good. And kind of like on my final verdict, you know, I've got to give like the action and everything, 5 stars. It's so good. And I'm going to give Dune a 4.5 stars out of 5, or a 9.5 out of 10. And I recommend you do go see this film on the biggest screen possible. The CGI, everything in there. Highly recommend you do see it for the voice talent, and just, you know, the characters as a whole, the world building, the action, all sorts. It all hits the right notes. And I really, really love this film so much. I can't wait to watch this again. I don't know when it will be, but I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Go see it in IMAX 4DX. Your choice. But I cannot recommend this film more, guys. Thanks so much for watching, though. And that is going to wrap up this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please do comment, and subscribe, share this video with your friends, family, and let me know your thoughts on Dune Part 2 down below. Did you go and see this film? Are you going to give it a miss? Where are you with the Dune films? Do you love them? Do you hate them? I am very surprised if you do hate them, because these are aimed at a specific audience, and I think for this generation it's a great film. I couldn't praise this film more. Absolutely loved it. Cannot wait for more. That is all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.